Brownells receiver, it is really nice. I like how you can choose to get these either
guns.
You're not really worried about putting a red dot on it. You can keep it simple. You can most definitely get it.
Yeah. Gosh, it smells good in here. Now for you. So this is number 2 of the JRC 10mm review. I was able to learn a lot more about this gun, and so here's the number 2, the final review on it. So the first time, just a quick review, the first time when I bought it, I took it straight to the range, didn't clean it, didn't do anything. I took it straight to the range. I could not get through a whole magazine without malfunctioning. And then it got worse, and it just couldn't go 4 rounds straight. It couldn't go 5 rounds straight. It would go 4 rounds jam, 4 rounds jam, 3 rounds jam, and jam pretty good too, pretty ugly. So I thought, well, maybe do I need to change the ejection side, where it ejects at? Maybe have it over on this side. So I went home, I cleaned it up, I went back to the range, but not on purpose, I just happened to be, and had the gun in the truck. And I shot, I want to say 50 rounds? No, 30 rounds? Something between 30 and 50 rounds. And it ran great. And it was like, okay, that's awesome, but that still doesn't tell me a whole lot. So when I get home, I clean it up again, clean it, lube it. And it took me a while, but I finally got back out to go shoot it. So I went to my regular place where I go shoot at. And it was the first gun I shot. I'm like, I gotta make sure this gun's working. So I pull it out, and I originally put a 15 round mag in there, just like this here. And it shot all 15 rounds perfect. I was like, yes. Threw another 15 round mag in there, shot it, perfect. It's 30 rounds. I'm like, yes, it's working. Put another 15 round mag in there, gave it to my nephew. He shot all of them. Boom, perfect. That's 45 now. I'm like, let me do one more. I'll throw another 15 round. No, I threw the 30 round mag in there, excuse me. So now we're looking at like 75 rounds basically. It ran through those 30 rounds. Boom, perfect. All right. Started shooting some other guns. Having fun. 2 hours later, about 15 minutes before we're going to leave, I'm like, let me just get a few more shots off to make sure that it's still running. Make sure it wasn't a fluke. Well, here's what happened.
Which means I need to go get a 10 mil made for 10 mil. That's this mag, man.
So it was very frustrating. It started doing the same thing again. It started malfunctioning. Then I couldn't go more than 5 rounds. You know, it would be 4 jam, 3 jam, nonstop. And so I understood what was going on. This thing needs to be clean. It needs to run wet. And for those of you who don't know, when someone says a gun likes to run wet, every gun you're supposed to oil it. But when someone says it likes to run wet, that means it likes more oil than the normal gun. So there's certain guns that want a lot of oil for whatever reason for it to run immaculate. And this is one of them. It needs a lot of oil to run, because when we stopped shooting, what happened is the oil had got, eaten up or whatever. The gunpowder and all that happens, the carbon, all that started getting caked up in there, and then it became somewhat dry. And so then that 2 hours later, it had, soaked up in the oil and whatnot that was in there. I didn't glob it with oil. I just put a decent normal amount of oil that you would put in anything. And that's the results. It needs to run wet. The problem is the reliability is still not good enough for me. Okay, so maybe for some others they'll say, oh, it's a fun gun, it's no biggie, and it's great for you, and that is awesome. For me, I do not like that level of reliability. This thing, when I clean this and lube it, I should be able to shoot 300 rounds, put it down for an hour, put it down for 5 days, put it down for a month, pick it up, and then shoot another 300 rounds. All right, it shouldn't have to be gumped with oil just in order to get a decent 100 rounds out of it, and then it's just going to give problems again. And that's just not my kind of gun. So it was pretty frustrating because, I'm a 10 millimeter guy, big time. You guys know that. And this was my 10 millimeter rifle, carbine, everything. I love everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the fact that I can control what side it ejects, what side I charge it. Just everything about it, I loved it. But the fact that that's a problem, the fact that the reliability is that iffy, I'm sorry, but that's not my kind of gun. That's not my kind of reliability that I expect for a gun that I own. None of my guns are that finicky, and I can't get down with that. It's possible I may sell this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I thought about taking it to a gunsmith, which is kind of frustrating because I'm very capable of, smithing most guns, but I'm just not super familiar with the JRC. It's not like it's crazy complicated, and that's why I don't even know if that's even worth it. Or sending it back to JRC, so there's options I have, but I'm not sure I want to go through with all that. But I'm not positive. I may keep it and send it, or I might sell it, but it is not up to par. Now, with that being said, I've done some research even before I had got the gun, and it showed. I seen people that had the 10 millimeter version also, and there's one guy that was having problems after problems. But I know someone who also owns one, and they never have any problems. So what people got to understand is when a gun or a brand or model is looked at as not a reliable gun or not a good gun, it's not because 100% of every gun that they build can't run. That's not the case. In most all guns, crappy guns, whatever. What it's about is quality control. Okay, and how bad is the quality control? So if they sell 10 guns, and out of those 10 guns, 4 of them are malfunctioning, but 6 of them are working perfectly fine, that's horrible. That's horrible quality control, right? And so you'll have those 4 people that's like, man, this is crap, and then you'll have another 6 people to go to, mine's runs perfect. They're great guns, right? And that's where you kind of get that online where someone's like, I have the gun and I put this many rounds and didn't have a problem, and you'll have another some other guys going, hey, it was jamming like crazy for me. It's about quality control. That's all it's about. It's about quality control. And that's the thing with high point. People don't understand. You can get a high point that the quality control was, it's a hit or miss. And if you get one that's a hit, then you can shoot it all day, drop it in mud, and still shoot. It's about the quality control. If you buy 10 high points, how many are going to run flawless? I promise you it won't be all 10. I've seen it. I know the quality control high point is bad. And so what it looks like is the quality control with these don't seem to be very good either. Now, I'm not saying that 50% suck. I don't know what that number is, but from my research, I'm not the only one, and based on how bad it's messing up, it's just like, it tells me a lot about the engineering of this gun. It's like, could have been better. Could have been better. So, I'll figure that out. I'll figure out what I want to do with it. But, unfortunately, the ball was dropped for me. It sucks, but not a good gun. And so you can see, after I had put that oil in there and whatnot, I don't know if you can see that. It's crazy that it got dirty that fast. I got clean, great 10mm ammo. It's not like it was shooting some horrible, dirty wolf ammo or something, right? It's very nice, clean, brass 10mm ammo that I run through my G40 and my G29 all day long. It needs to be wet, run wet, and even then, it shouldn't need all that to be a great gun. So, that's that. Big letdown, because I was so excited to get this. I was so excited to get this. So it's a pretty big letdown. I will update you guys on what I do, whether I sell it or I send it back to JRC for them to, perfect it or whatever they need to do. Send me a new one, who knows? So I'll keep you updated. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you being here with me.